morning on this, it's again grey Monday morning, but it's only as grey as we're going to make it for ourselves. Now, I was watching a lovely coffee and chat with a conversation between the three fat readers yesterday, and they made a real good point that struck home with me, and that is often when we're doing a unboxing and first impressions video of a new deck or a book or anything, we tend to use the word review. So they're quite right. We can't review something we haven't used, okay? So this has encouraged me to create a video today of a couple of decks here, and where I'm going to look at comparisons. I have used both decks. They are RWS decks, so there's no need to go in to do a review on how it reads per se, because they are our standard RWS images. It's the cardstock, the re-imaging, and just how lovely they are. The two decks I'm looking at and going to talk to you about are the Retina Waite-Smith Tarot. Now, I have done an unboxing and walkthrough of this first impressions. Loved it, and I've done the same with this one as well. And this is the Gold Foil Tarot. So let's have a look. What are the pros and cons of each of them? If there are any cons, there may not be. And how do I find them to shuffle, to hold, that sort of thing, you know? So I've got a couple of cards out here. So let's just take an Ace of Wands. So there's the Ace of Wands. First of all, both decks the same size, okay? Exactly the same size. However, when you put them down, this one does look a little bit bigger, whether it's the shine, I don't know. Now, just holding them like that, for instance, look how crystal clear the Retina Waite-Smith is. It's absolutely crystal clear. Now, this is beautiful, but you have to sometimes, I find, if you're looking for anything, just turn it slightly so the light highlights areas of the foil deck, whereas this one is just in your face clear. Okay, definitely perfect for my retinas anyway. This deck is beautiful. It can be, if you're not careful, if your light isn't correct, it can be difficult to see. Does that stop me using it? No, it doesn't. Why? Because I like bling. I just like blingy stuff. So the cardstock of the Retina Waite-Smith is it's a nice sort of, I wouldn't say it's too bendy, but at the same time it's not too stiff either. I'm just going to see if it says on here what cardstock has been used. Oh no, it doesn't. No, I thought it did there then. Oh, let's say on the back here, just bear with me. No, it just tells it, because this does have gold stamping on it as well. Those are the backs. Look at the colours, I just love that. And they also have gold edging, gilding on the edges, which are very, very nice. So shuffling this deck, it's nice to handle. It shuffles lovely hand over hand. I'm not quite sure what the cardstock is, but I do know that it's very nice. It's what might say it on the certificate, actually. Let's have a look. No. But it's that nice cardstock. It's not too slippery. It's not slippery at all. It doesn't stick together like some of the lovely velvety ones that I also love do. And it riffles nicely. Yep, riffles really nicely. And it doesn't go out of shape when you arch the deck. If you're not a riffler, I apologise in advance. I do riffle my cards. I find it quite a therapeutic way to shuffle, unless of course you get them and they sort of fly everywhere. But it's a lovely deck to shuffle, like I say. It's a lovely deck to be able to see and read with. Let's have a look at another example of a card that I have here. Let's see what we have here. Our death cards. Now look at them again. Very clear on the eye. And the image almost seems to be a little bit bigger, but we do have these borders here on the foil deck. So yes, the images do seem, or well, not seem, they are slightly larger on the Retina Waite-Smith. Whereas on this, they're that little bit smaller. There you go. because of the border. Let's have a look at what this deck is like to shuffle. Now, it's slightly more slippery because of all the foil. It's not difficult to keep hold of, but it is a little bit more pliable because I think it's like a plastic one. I think they're waterproof as well, if I'm not mistaken. And no gilding on it. It's got enough gilding all over it. Doesn't need it on the edges too. Now see the sort of plasticity of them. When you're arching, they just bend straight back. So they do spring back. I'll give you a warning on that. So if you do that, there you go. And they just spring back into shape. So they are a plastic type deck. Very pliable, but also really nice. I do like them. I like both of the decks. There's no two ways about it. They've got their quirkiness in the sense that the retina weight Smith, as I say, is absolutely crystal clear to see. The foil is it's a sort of a, what would you call it, decadent deck, where it's full of bling, full of prettiness, There's the backs of the two of them. So we've got the lovely gold foil, gold stamping here, and we've got the foil all over this one. Beautiful and clear. A little more difficult to see. You'll also notice on the foil there's like a doubling up on the line work, so it's not that crystal clear. And like I say, sometimes you're looking at it and you just have to go, oh, right, okay, just for that closer look. But folks, that could be my eyes. You know, I just sometimes feel that my eyes don't see as well as they used to. You know, the High Priestess. There we have our High Priestess there. Now, look what I like about this. On our High Priestess there, on her scroll where it says she writes Torah, where Torah is written, that Torah is upright facing herself. So it's like she is keeping that information to herself, that she wants to, it's a secret. You have to get to a certain level for that penny to drop and for secrets to become known. Whereas on this one, Torah is bent over and it's facing us and it's legible to us. We can read it, and it's almost like it's time to share that information. Your time has come. A little bit more work to do before we'll reveal the secrets to you, but this one is, I think you're ready now. You know, very beautiful cards. Let me see which other card. Let's have a look at the moon. Here in the moon card again, we have very interesting cards. We have the whole of the crawfish there, or crayfish there. Our dogs are slightly different in this one. They're a little bit more friendly looking in a way. Yeah, they don't sort of look like wolves are about to eat you with an angry face. Both our moons have that sort of look about them. The Devil card. Ooh, this one is saying, yes, look at his cross-eyed and his sort of mad look. And it's almost like he's saying, yes, join the madness, join the party. I'm in control. But it's sort of a disorganized madness, whereas this one is, I'm definitely in control. I'm definitely going to be yanking your chain. I have badness right the way through me, and I'm not going to let you go. Try and escape my clutches. Look at the evil in his eyes and the grin on his face in comparison to that. This one looks a little bit like he's been enjoying the beers and the pizzas too much, whereas this one looks like he's strong, he's ready to manipulate, and he's ready to call the shots. So, one of the minors here, we have an 8 of Pentacles. Again, there you go. This one, very clear in the eye. This one, again, you have to give that a little close up and give it a little bit of a turn to see the image. Do I find that an inconvenience? Not really, no, because it's a deck I like. I do like foil decks, and it's just one that when I'm reading, if I need to, I just lift my lamp up and pop it under the lamp and go, oh yeah, right, all this. And sometimes what I'm finding on the foil deck is that There's a little bit more in each of the images. It's whether it's the line work, and there's occasions where, like for in the Fool, for instance, we've passed the Fool now, haven't we? Yeah. You see that there's more interaction between the dog, the companion, and it just seems to have more, if it's a silly word to use, movement about it. And another example, the Page of Wands, we've got two completely different Page of Wands here. Our Page of Wands here looks like he's more knowledgeable than our Page of Wands here. They're both facing in opposite directions. To me, this one is saying, right, I've reached a particular part, I am learning, still continuing to learn. I'm wanting to go forward and move on. I'm wanting to continue my learning to promote to that sort of knight level, that I've matured, or I'm in the throes of maturing, where this one seems like I'm going to have to retrace my step, go back and relearn what I clearly didn't learn a lesson from the last issue, whatever. So I'm just going to have to just go back and retrace my steps a bit, and just see where I went that little bit wrong. The continual learning, to me, this one is going forward, progressing, building on his learning, and this one's recapping, going back and saying, I'm not quite sure I understood that bit, but I'm just going to recap it a little bit. So if we're looking about learning, looking at it from that point of view, of course, it's not always about learning, but just for the sake of argument's sake, to show you as a comparison, that's the point I'm using. Okay. Two beautiful cards. And finally, I'll show you our Queen of Pentacles. Both my Queen of Pentacles here have a sadness about them. I don't know why. Maybe it's concern for their offspring. They're wanting to watch them grow. They're wanting to help them. There's the kindness about them. And is there a bit of disappointment there? I don't know. But just look at them. They both do have a face that says, I'm a little bit sad, or is it contemplative? Sometimes I find on this one, I don't know whether it's the colouring of the card, but she does remind me of the High Priestess. Albeit she's not got her foot on a moon, or there's no moon there. Is there? Not that I can see. Oh, there's something behind her head on her throne, but I think that's another face. Oh, it is a face, yeah. And they're both looking in different directions again. So I like the fact that we've got symbols on these cards as well, and star signs, planets and star signs. We've got planets and star signs, astrological signs, and here we've got our elements. Okay, so that is two RWS decks, both of them completely different to each other in the sense of colour, cardstock, ease of shuffling, and what have you. One plastic, one cardboard, and yet both of them are beautiful to read with. Do I favour one more than the other? I like them both for different reasons. I like the clarity on my eyes with this deck. This deck is just so clear, it is a beauty. This deck has the bling and the shine that I love, and I love them both for very different reasons. You can see how you can quite easily make, comparing and contrasting the artwork, and how it could maybe throw a little bit of a different meaning on things for you. It's actually quite good when you can get something different out of two decks that are from the same system, but just that little tweak in the art, or that little bit of difference, it just can add that little bit more meaning. Now, two other decks that I've worked with, I actually recently did an unboxing and first impressions of, and I'm now going to do a review of them, are the Oracle of Visions by Ciro Marchetti and the Zama Twins Oracle, okay, by Patrick Valenza. Now, they're two completely different Oracle decks. Patrick Valenza's is his quirky, wonderful way that he has of producing his Oracle decks and tarot decks. And I have used these to read with. How have I found them? I've actually found them very much like his other decks with his Deviant Moon and the Mildred Payne series. I have found them to be the sort of deck that will give you the kick in the butt that you need. They're very honest. So if we look in here, now just to give you a heads up that with the Zama Twins Oracle, you will inside have a card that does give you a link to the PDF should you feel that you need it. Now, I have downloaded it. I've had a brief look through it. In fact, I think I did that with yourselves here on this channel. But actually, when I'm reading this, do I always use for Oracle decks, do I always use the interpretations of the creator? Sometimes I might refer to them, but I don't always use them because I think two people can look at the same image and get completely different readings, and yet each reading will be as valid as each other. It's just the intuition is working differently. So if we're looking at Deliverance here, now Deliverance here, you could look at that and think, holy God, what is that knight in his armour doing with that innocent child? It looks very saintly with the halo around its head. Is this sort of a biblical reference? If you recall, there was a story about the two women who were arguing over a child. Is this the same sort of thing? We've got now Deliverance is what it's called here. Is this, look, people, if you don't start arguing, we're going to split this in two and you'll have to share, that sort of thing. Or is this delivering this, saving from tongues of fire, saving from damnation, really, if you look at it that way? But is it the innocence that's saving this person, sitting on your shoulder? So there's a lot of ways you could pick this out. For me, when I use my Oracle decks, I tend to use them in conjunction with a tarot deck. With Patrick Valenza's Oracle decks, I do tend to use them with my Deviant Moon because I just feel that they do balance each other, they support each other. Now, sometimes you can look at some of the art and think, it's a little bit out there, it's a little bit different, and yes, it is. Some of them can feel uncomfortable. If you're looking at the Blemia, for instance, someone's lost their head running around like a bloody lunatic. And this could be saying, well, look, you're running around like a headless chicken. You need to sort this out. You're going to hurt yourself or others. Other times you could say, oh, we're listening to our gut instinct and not our brain at the moment. The head's in the torso. So are you listening to the inner voice, your gut instinct? It all depends what your reading is with the tarot. I do believe that you can get that initial feeling that you're getting, but it can have a twist on it, all depending on the card you're using alongside it. Would I recommend the Zama Twins? If you're into Patrick Valenza's art, yes. Now, it's not an art that's for everybody. I've got the Wounded Man here. And the Wounded Man, I have my own... He reminds me a little bit in a way of our Ten of Swords in the tarot deck. However, this is piercing him, and to me, because of the saint-like image of him, it's as though he's being a martyr. I think I have actually said this to you in the past, that he is being a martyr for others to blame, for others to put their problems onto his back and shoulders, and it's causing him pain. And he needs to start saying, no, stop firing your arrows at me and start looking at yourself, because I've been doing this for far too long, okay? So that's the sort of thing that I get from this deck. I do like it. Like I say, the art, for me, I enjoy it. I won't lie, when I first came across Patrick Valenza's work, I found it disturbing. But, it's like a wart that grows on you. Now, we don't all like warts. I should say a beauty spot or a mole. Not a wart. Right. The next one is Oracle of Visions by Ciro Marchetti. And again, this is a deck that speaks quite loudly. There are no names on the deck. Now, you have names on the Zama Twins Oracle. On this one, purely images and being able to delve in what you see. Look, for me, that's, reaching her heights, reaching her goals. At the moment, those are her dreams, but she doesn't have the confidence to go ahead and do it. She needs to follow her dreams. look, it's showing her that she can achieve, that she can do what she wants. She just has to put her mind to it. Get out of that bed and put your mind to it. So you can see that you could get something completely different from it than I do. Here we've got someone who's showing images through a projector. Now, this looks like it's going back many, many years if we look at the style of projector. So this is bringing technology to the fore, showing your technology off to others, but also highlighting the inner self of others to them, not just for yourself. You know, this could be somebody that's using a tarot deck. That could be an empress or something, and saying you need to listen to your inner empress, your inner guidance. So you can actually see how you can take what's here and just allow your imagination, your gut feeling, and which is your intuition, to actually bring about what you feel that card is saying to you. Like the Zama twins having a PDF available for this, you have a book here that's in here from Chiro and his interpretations. This is one of my favourites, and this is, look at all the masks, the mirrors and the masks, but we have the Russian dolls here, the nested dolls. So that, to me, that's saying there's many layers to us, which is a very obvious thing because of these dolls. And that we all wear masks, and we wear different masks for different occasions. It's just like in every day we wear different hats for different occasions. So when I was working, I was a teacher, I wore my teacher's hat, and there was a mask, and that was a deep inner aspect to my life. I'm a mum, I'd wear my mum hat, again it's a different mask. So what's this telling us to do? This is saying, okay, you wear your wife, daughter, auntie, sister, teacher, parent, friend, charity worker, tarot reader. You wear these different fronts. What this is saying to me is time to just peel the masks back, time to undo that nest of Russian dolls, get to that little baby one inside, and time to give you some love and care. The real you, not the masked you, not the person who is going out helping others, being a good daughter or wife, and maybe sometimes not being such a good person. But why? Let's get to our inner selves and nurture our inner selves. So all those are decks that I am working with, have been working with, and will continue to work with. I love each of them for different reasons. I like Chiro's art. I think, is it called AI? I think it is. And you know, people would argue, I have seen arguments for and against AI, and to me, art is art no matter how it's created. If it's created by somebody, whether it's through the use of IT, we've come a long way as a race, as a being, as a world people. We've built these technologies, so they're there. Use them for the better, use them for the higher good, use them for art, use them to enhance what you like doing, and also encourage, you know, others to accept whatever type of art you want to create. It's not for me or anybody else to say. If you don't like it, you don't have to buy it, you know. It's as simple as that. And I appreciate all the hard work that each of the artists and creators put into their decks. Now some would say, well, you know, the RWS, it's been around for years, it's not like they're actually creating something new. No, but they're enhancing it for the likes of yourself and myself to use and to enjoy, and for my aging eyes to see better. Now, I just went to try and put the wrong box on there then. The decks like this, we say, well, you know, that's a great argument, and what about the decks that you can't see clearly? Well, it's not, I would say not seeing them clearly that is my individual problem. I do think that they are clear enough for people with great eyesight. I do have to go and get new glasses, by the way, but for me, it's not that I can't see them clearly, it's just that sometimes I feel like I've got double vision with them, and it's only in one or two cards, and I just think it's the print. Other than that, I love it. I love them all. So on that note, I'm going to love you and leave you. Hope you've enjoyed this review of the two tarot decks and two oracle decks that I've done. And you know, I think I'm going to take out some of my older decks and go back over them, wherever I have only done unboxings and first impressions, I'm actually going to do reviews on them. Because, you know, there are decks that I have in my collection I've had for a long time that I do pick out and read with, that they're close to hand, and change them out every now and again. But I also feel that reviewing an older deck for people that might have missed one or two of them because they're that little bit old, and people just coming new onto the scene, and you can have a look and see what you think of those. So folks, do take care. Thanks for being here, and have a good week, whatever you may be doing. Bye now.